Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I want to talk to you about 7 affordable fragrances I wore this week that I think you should be checking out. So let's get started. All right, so this week I got a whole range of different fragrances. The weather here was all over the place. It was hot one day, really hot another day, and then it got really cold another day, rainy another day. The weather just couldn't make up its mind this week, and so my fragrance rotation got all out of whack, and it was a mix of summer freshies mixed with some more kind of like fall-oriented stuff. This video is all about kind of some affordable ones. I stuck with all affordable fragrances this week, so that means fragrances under $50. Most of these fall in the kind of $20 to $40 range. So I had a great lineup this week. I was really excited to kind of reach back and grab some of those fall fragrances, even though it's the middle of the summer. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. All right, so kicking things off on Saturday, it was a perfect summer day. It was nice and sunny outside, but it wasn't too hot, and it was the weekend, and I wanted to grab something from my collection that I hadn't worn in a little while, but I always enjoy when I do wear it, and that is Jil Sanders Sun. Now this one is a bit more of a fresh, spicy aromatic. It's got a little bit of rosemary, it's got some citruses like bergamot, a little bit of nutmeg mixed with some like musk and some sandalwood. It's just a really pleasant, fresh, spicy summer fragrance. It just has summer written all over it. I absolutely love wearing this. It's so easy, it's so fresh with that little bit of like mint kind of accord to it mixed with that citrus and some of that kind of masculine musk and sandalwood in it. It's just a great fragrance. I really enjoy this one, and not a lot of people do talk about this. This is a cheap fragrance, and like the bottle itself kind of represents that. It's nothing special. It's a bit of a cheap cap to it. Nothing crazy with the bottle, but you can get this for like 30 bucks on discounters. Nothing crazy. This is a 100 ml bottle. Oh, but it's just, I love wearing this one. This is such a great fragrance. Performance is average. I get about anywhere from 5-6 hours of this on my skin. When I'm out in the heat, it'll burn off a little bit quicker, so you might need to reapply if you're gonna be out in the sun all day. In terms of projection and sillage, again, it's average, maybe a little bit closer to the skin, but it depends on how many sprays. You can go a little crazy on the sprays with this one and you're not gonna blast out an entire room. But the performance aside, for a summer freshie, it's such a beautiful scent profile. I absolutely enjoy wearing this, and I'm glad I picked it out on Saturday and gave it a wear because it's just a great cheap fragrance that I think you should be checking out, and that is Jil Sanders Sun. All right, so moving into Sunday, it was another beautiful day out. The sun was shining, and it was a little bit hotter than the day before. So I wanted to get something that was a little bit more ozonic, a little bit more aquatic, and something I think that is kind of slept on in this line, and that is Bentley for Men Azure. Now this fragrance opens up with a beautiful violet kind of pineapple accord, and then it moves into this like clean lavender with a green tea note and this punch of paprika. And that little punch of paprika is just what makes this fragrance so enjoyable for me. Off my skin, I really get that hit of spice mixed with that clean lavender, that green tea. It comes across very aquatic. That citrus up top just adds to it. It's just a nice, clean, fresh summer fragrance for me. That little punch of spice that kind of sets it apart from other fragrances. I don't think I have anything in my collection that smells quite like Bentley Azure. It's not the most complicated fragrance on the planet. It's not too daring or hard to pull off. It's just a really nice scent profile that I really enjoy. Longevity wise, I get about 6 to 8 hours off this in the heat, so it does fairly well off my skin. Projection's about average. It doesn't like push off like crazy. A little bit more in the heat, obviously, but it's not gonna fill up a room necessarily unless you go crazy on the sprays. So the performance is pretty decent on this. The bottle is the classic Bentley bottle, nice quality, you know, thick glass, nice metal cap. Atomizer on this is pretty decent. And it's just such a pleasant fragrance. It's so fresh, aquatic with that little bit of spice to it, a little hint of sweetness at the base from some tonka and some of the woods there. Underrated fragrance in my opinion. I really enjoy this. I think you would as well. About $30, $35 at discounters. Worth every penny in my books. So I think you should get your nose on it. Don't sleep on this one, and that is Bentley Azure. All right, so moving into Monday, the heat was still here, and I was kind of in the mood for something a little bit more playful, something that puts me in a good mood, something that's just fruity, fun, floral, and a little bit on the gourmand side, and that is English Laundry Tahitian Water. Now this one has a great kind of coconut lime floral opening to it. It's got this ylang ylang and jasmine in there, so it's almost got like a little bit of a banana accord to my nose, and that comes from the Langy Lang, but like the coconut and the lime is just, it's so fun. It just puts me in a good mood. It's got a nice base of like this cedar wood and this brown sugar, so it's got this sweetness to it mixed with the florals and just enough of those woods to kind of tie it in and make it more kind of on the masculine side, but it's still got those florals and that sweetness to it. It just puts me in a good mood every time I smell this. It's got summer vibe written all over it, and it's a great fragrance from the English Laundry line. Performance is average, it's nothing crazy. It is an English Laundry and they don't tend to perform all that great. So I got about 5 hours of longevity out of this. Projection again was about average, maybe a little bit below average. It does sit a little bit closer, but you can kind of bathe yourself in this stuff and you're not gonna blow out a room. It's just a lovely scent. It's affordable. It's about $20, $25 on certain discounters. And it's worth every penny. I really enjoy wearing this one. It always puts me in a good mood. I think you guys should be checking it out if you like that kind of scent profile. And that is English Laundry Tahitian Water. Moving into Tuesday, it was the hottest day of the week. It was an absolute scorcher. I'm not a big fan of the high heat. I'm more of a spring fall kind of guy. I can't handle that kind of heat. So I needed something that was gonna keep me upbeat, keep me lively, keep me happy, and that is Halloween Man Hero. Now this fragrance is not talked about nearly as much as it should be. For $40 at discounters, oh, it's so good. It's got this grapefruit, this ginger up top, some clean lavender. It's the aquatics in this. It's got kind of a shower jelly feel to it, but it has the sweetness and these aquatics mixed into it that just make this like a really nice fragrance. Some people have compared this to Invictus Aqua. There's like some similarities there for sure. I wouldn't say this is like a clone of it necessarily, but that little pop of ginger in there with the other citruses mixed with some of those florals, and there's some patchouli at the base that kind of elevates the sweetness just a little bit, but it's not an overpowering sweetness. It's not like a cloying sweetness. It's just a nice, fresh, summer, aquatic, citrus style fragrance. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love this one. Performance on this, I get about 8 hours, no problem. If I spray some on my shirt, I can smell it the next morning. So performance for me is great. In terms of projection and sillage, it does fairly well. This pushed off fairly well for the first couple hours. Not a beast mode. Unless you bathe in this stuff, you're not going to fill a room, but definitely performs very well, especially for the price points you're paying for this. Like I said, it's about $40 at discounters. I think it's one of the underrated ones people don't talk about nearly as much. I think you should get your nose on this if you like those fresh aquatic summer fragrances, and that is Halloween Man Hero. All right, so moving into Wednesday, the heat actually completely stopped. It was a bit of a storm during the night, and I woke up and it was actually kind of chilly in the morning. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to reach into my collection and grab something that is brand new to my collection. I did a full review of this on my channel. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check that out. And that is Lattafa Pride Eternal Oud. Now this fragrance, I mean, aside from this dope presentation, I absolutely love this presentation. I went on about this in the review I did. I won't dwell on that too much, but presentation on this is absolutely sick. I just love how they put this together. The fragrance itself is just beautiful. This is great for cooler weather. I'm actually kind of glad the heat let up so I could enjoy this and give this a full wearing. This opens, oh, that atomizer on here is just sick. This opens with the most beautiful plum note and vanilla. I just get this just mouth-watering kind of ice cream parlor vanilla coming from this, mixed with a little hint of oud. It's not an overpowering oud. It's not a very strong oud. It's just enough to kind of have this lean a little bit on the masculine side. I do think this is kind of a unisex fragrance, a little bit on the masculine side, like I said with that oud, but it's just a delicious, delicious fragrance. The vanilla in here is just mouth-watering. Like I can feel myself almost salivating over this right now. Gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. I absolutely love this. This is probably the best blind buy I've ever bought. With that presentation, worth every single penny. This was about $40 on Fragrance Buy. They are sold out currently at the time of filming this video, but once they restock, if this sounds like a scent profile you'd enjoy, this would be perfect for the fall, for the winter, even for kind of cooler spring days. Absolute banger. I absolutely just enjoy this one way too much. That's Lattafa Pride Eternal Oud. All right, moving into Thursday, the heat had returned, the sun was out, and it was time to reach into my collection for something I recently added that I was very curious to get a full wearing of, and that is Armaf Nuit Lyric. Now, a lot of people have said that this one is a clone of Acqua di Gio Profondo, and I probably have to agree with them. This is very, very similar to Acqua di Gio Profondo. Obviously, it's a little bit on the cheaper side compared to Acqua di Gio. It is a $30 fragrance at discounters, but it is still a beautiful scent. It's really bright citrus. It's got those aquatic notes to it, a little bit of that clean lavender in it. It's just an easy to wear fragrance in the summer, perfect for those hot days. Performance on this is pretty good. I got about 6 hours roughly. Sillage, average, nothing crazy. It doesn't push off like mad. In the heat, it does radiate a little bit more, but you can give yourself a heavy dose of sprays with this and you're not gonna blast out an entire room, and you're really gonna enjoy that scent profile. If you like Acqua di Gio Profondo, you are going to enjoy this. It's just a perfect cheapie. Armaf did really good with this one. I would highly suggest you check this out if you're looking for an affordable fragrance and something that you're gonna really enjoy in the summer. That would be Armaf Tres Nuit Lyric. All right, so moving into Friday, it was an absolutely miserable day outside. It was cold, it was rainy, it did not feel like summer out whatsoever, and that got me a little excited because I could take a step back from some of the summer fragrances I have and kind of reach into my collection for some of those fall fragrances, even sort of kind of a wintry fragrance, and that happened to be Armaf Odyssey Black. Now, this fragrance does not get talked about as much as it should. It's just a beautiful amber, spicy, iris fragrance. The iris in this really pops off. It's got kind of that lipsticky iris. If that's the kind of scent you're into, you'll love this one. It's got that thick iris note to it, mixed with that amber and a perfect blend of spices. For a bit, it gives me a bit of a chocolatey kind of vibe. It's not a very strong chocolate, and it's not one of the notes in the fragrance, but it does have that kind of chocolate vibe for a short period of time, kind of in the mid. And it does work into a little bit of a leather base to it, but the iris rides through this whole fragrance. It's just a beautiful iris. It's just a nice spice, a nice amount of sweetness. It's a really nicely blended fragrance, perfect for cool weather. I absolutely love the fact that I could wear this on the Friday. Projection longevity on this is great. I got about 8 hours out of this, no problem. The projection and sillage on this, again, was pretty good. In the cool weather, it does push through, so I got a decent scent bubble out of this for about 3-4 sprays. No problem. This was pushing off for a good hour or two, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. Not enough people talk about this. Not enough people have reviewed this. I really, really enjoy this one. This costs about $30, $35 at discounters. And if you haven't got your nose on this before, if you enjoy that kind of iris scent profile mixed with that amber and those spices, I think you're gonna really enjoy Armaf Odyssey Homme Black. All right, so there you have it. Those are 7 affordable fragrances that I wore this week that I think you would enjoy. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.